9.
The Radio Wammo Breakfast.
Suckling on the teat of tech.
With Paul Brislen.
Talking high tech with Paul Brislen, bringing him in. G'day to you, Paul.
Good morning, how are you?
Good, thank you very much. I'm like this.
It's a thing of beauty. I tell you not to give up your day job, but you did that already, so...
This is about as low-tech as it can get. A carrot is what made that sound. It's a flute carrot.
A flute carrot. You really can't do better than a flute carrot.
That's my Maori myth.
A female moth. So you've been watching too much television again?
I have, yes, and I got delivered a carrot flute this morning. Anyway, it's not very high tech, that's for sure.
No,
but it's quite cool.
That's right, very cool, nonetheless.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, let's talk high tech though. Let's talk e-reader. There's a new e-reader out, or might be coming out, called e-ink. Tell us about it.
E-ink. Well, e-ink is the company that makes the displays that the likes of Amazon and Sony have used with Amazon's Kindle, for example, and the Sony e-reader. And these aren't like your typical LCD or LED screens. You've seen an Amazon Kindle, haven't you?
I have.
It's really quite different. It's like paper. Electronic paper.
It's pretty amazing. You don't really know how papery it looks until you stare at one.
Until you see one. I know, it's quite crazy. And because of the new technology behind it, this e-ink company has produced, it doesn't use a lot of battery life. So you can have a page on your Kindle open and just leave it there for hours, if not days. It is really quite astonishing. But so far, they've all been in black and white. And that's fine if you're buying books. But one of the big things that's taken off on the Kindle is magazines, and they of course want colour. So e-ink has gone back to the drawing board and has produced the first round of what it hopes will become colour displays. Apparently they're a bit washed out at the moment. They don't look quite like an LCD, but this is generation 1, and I think if we see colour displays on these things, it'll change the way we start building laptops, tablets, the iPad, things like that. It'll be really quite tremendous.
But to me, it looks like an iPad, though, doesn't it?
Well, it does, doesn't it? It looks. This is the prototype they've got here, and they've clearly gone for that design feature to make it look as iPad-like as possible, because really they're broadly hinting at Apple that they should jump on board as well.
Yeah.
And I would be delighted with that, because one of the big issues that I've got with the iPads and with all the tablets is battery life. And if it's anything like the iPhone itself, the battery life's less than what you would hope for.
Yeah.
Simply because you do so much with them.
Yeah.
So that's really key. If we can reduce the drain on it and have something that can sit there for hours, if not days, then blimey, we'd be away.
Talking about the Kindle, I downloaded the Kindle app for Android,
right.
So I've got it on my phone. I haven't downloaded a full book yet. I've just sort of downloaded some excerpts from some books, and I actually quite like the experience.
Yeah.
On the phone, I mean, obviously you're not getting a full page, because if you've got a full page, the writing would be too small.
That's right. That's right.
But
it's nice and easy, isn't it?
It is nice and easy, yeah.
Read and
click
over pages.
Would it be something that you would do? Would you read a book on a phone?
I've read. I downloaded the first chapter for a book and read that on my phone. I've got to say it was a bit tiring after a while.
Okay.
My eyes are getting very old now, so it was a bit awkward. But on the next size up, so I've got a Samsung Galaxy S.
Yeah.
The next size up is the Galaxy Tab, which is probably half the size of the iPad. I'd be quite happy reading something on that.
Yeah?
I think. It's flexible. You can take it with you. You can carry a whole raft of books. I love books. I buy books constantly, but I am appalled by the price that we pay for them here in New Zealand. So for me, this kind of thing would be ideal, especially if you're travelling. Chuck a reader in your bag. You can have 4 or 5 books on it. I'm forever leaving books behind simply because I can't fit them in my suitcase. So.
But the thing I'm wondering, though, on the phone, or even, say, the Galaxy tablet, is the fact that it is an LCD backlit screen. Would that get tiring on your eyes? Or,
yeah, well,
or
that's what I found was certainly on the phone, whether it was the size or the screen itself, the screens refresh themselves and they do it hundreds of times a second, so you don't notice, but your eyes notice, and the mechanism behind your eyes does apparently get tired quite quickly reading that. Whereas reading e-ink books, the Kindle Reader, is static, so it's just like reading a printed page, and that's a lot easier on the eye. Yes.
Well, something else that goes at a crazy rate in front of your eyes is first-person shooters, and you've been giving the new Call of Duty Black Ops a bash, or have you managed to get it go?
I can't even get it to run. This is really quite alarming. So, Call of Duty, as you say, one of the premier first-person shooter games that's available these days. They've really pushed the envelope quite a lot in recent times. We've talked about some of the controversy in the past. I can't even get it to launch on my machine. So I thought perhaps it's just my machine. It's a good opportunity for the upgrade path to kick in.
Yeah.
I'll have to go and buy some new chips and some more sheep and stuff it in and see how it goes. But no, apparently it's not just me. There's a whole raft of people online complaining that they start the game up and you just immediately get an error box saying blackops.exe has stopped working. And that's it. That's as far as you get. So far, it looks gorgeous from what I've seen from other people looking at it, but I can't get near it to give you a rundown.
Now, I've heard PC gamers complaining that this is part of a trend with PC games, is that the developers behind the games are concentrating more on the consoles, and PC gamers are seeing more of these problems crop up because not as much effort is going into porting it to the PC.
And it does seem to be that it's always the PC that suffers, the PC games that suffer rather than the console. Although I see some noise about PS3 players saying they also have some trouble with it not running properly. But it's got to be difficult for these developers. They've got to develop, in effect, the same game 3 times over, just to cover PC, Xbox, and PlayStation, let alone looking further afield. It is a costly business. These are as expensive to make as some of the big name movies. You're talking hundreds of millions of dollars going into these kinds of things. It's quite astonishing to think that you can get it all the way out to launch and then have an error as fundamental as it not being able to run. That does smack of something not going right behind the scenes.
And for those on gardening leave, very frustrating with all that free time.
Don't get me started. I could have played it several times over by now. Exactly. I don't have to sleep anymore. So it's but no, I can't get near it. So I'm stuck with Angry Birds. And Angry Birds and I are good friends now. And
you are with. I saw you tweet out this morning ringtones and SMS notifications.
That's right.
Angry Bird
themed. You can get the Angry Birds ringtone. Sounds like this.
No, those birds!
And I've got to say, I could annoy a lot of colleagues with that if I had any colleagues to annoy. I'd have that ringing on my desk every 5 minutes. I'd ring people and get them to ring me straight back.
But they'd be like, what do you mean? You're playing on company time? What's going on?
What's going on? Come here. It's time for your performance review.
It's work. This is a work phone call.
That's right. Yeah. Sorry, I'd love to come along, but Wammo's just phoned me and I've got to go. So yes, I shall download it anyway and just annoy my wife. Which she's really looking forward to. I can tell.
Good-o. Thanks very much, Paul.
Anytime.
Cheers, Paul Brislen there. You can catch him on Twitter as well. Twitter.com/Paul